Fair enough.
Okay, let me
Thanks.
call them real quick.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Would you text Gross and tell him we're still
Yeah.
playing with this?
Hold on, technical difficulties. I'm glad I brought my phone in. I usually.
Got it.
What was the meeting we moved to 11:30? Was that after the first of the year?
The next one, on the 6th.
Because when I walked in, I thought, oh, I was the only one here.
I thought it was 11:30 this time.
So, yeah. Well, at least Jeremy showed up.
That's because he has to keep me up.
All right. Jeremy, probably having the same trouble you had the other day. Can you just go ahead and put your info in there and we'll start? I can't get anything to, just try your,
Yeah, he sent me an image. He's on there. Oh, yeah, it shows him
the only problem is, I'm gonna have
Load
to,
up on your,
I don't think
you know
it's,
your go-to meeting stuff?
yeah, do you have that
there. They're
one?
working on it now.
Go to my meetings, just, it's not gonna show.
I don't like.
Have him just dial in on the phone, all right?
Yes, comma, can you dial in on the phone? Yeah, I'll do that. Who wants to know if you're here? No, okay. Oh, I think he's insinuating that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not here and I'm trying to run the meeting and can't log in. Thanks.
Okay, I can,
Yeah, you should be able to, first the meeting one. How do I get out of here?
872 240 33. Well, that's gonna, everybody's gonna have to do that, I assume.
sign in.
Yeah, when I click sign in.
Oh, it's got you automatically?
Trying to figure out a way to avoid that.
Access 286 620 173.
Here, let's go out. Let's just go, did you go into,
Did you have a meeting ID with that thing?
yeah,
Could you just type in the meeting ID when you click onto the go-to meeting?
I don't know. We have to start the meeting. See, I have to start the meeting.
Do you not remember what it wouldn't let you log in?
No. I'm just gonna have Jeff call in on this phone, and we're gonna get started.
I did call, I did tell him that. Called in and waiting, it said.
Is it 11:15?
Tell him to call my cell phone, and we'll get started.
Okay. Well, he already called, if he's on his phone, that, can he call you too? Or what?
Text him, just text him and tell him to hang up and call my cell phone, and that's how we'll do it.
All right.
Back to the old-fashioned way. We'll be starting momentarily. Sorry about the delay.
Hang up and call Joe's cell phone.
Right, usually nothing different.
Yeah, I could probably do it, yeah.
Someday when we build a new city hall, we're gonna get all this stuff correct.
Sign out.
George,
There.
that'll be a long time.
There, now.
I know. I just said that for the oldest brother. Did you ever, were you ever in the other one?
Yeah,
Very nice.
will that affect your presenters though, if they're trying to present online?
Yes, so I'm gonna get his phone line. Let's see.
I suppose I'm available Monday morning at 10.
Don't say that. That must grab mine.
Okay. Yeah, let's click out of there. All right. There we go. Start it. Hey, Jeff, we just got the go-to meeting started, so give it about half a minute and just sign in and we'll get rolling. Sorry about that. Take care, bye-bye. There we go. Jeff? Jeff, unmute, and we'll get started.
If you need that back.
You can unmute him if you want.
I tried.
Didn't work.
There we go. Jeff, can you hear us? Can you unmute yourself? We can't hear you. You have to unmute.
Be a microphone button.
All right, well, we're gonna get started, and I may just ask for a thumbs up, because I can't get any. James and Brian, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, great, thank you.
There.
Loud and clear.
All right, let's start the meeting. We'll call the meeting to order, 9 minutes late, sorry about that, with technical difficulties. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, Jeff, I see you're unmuted, correct? He was.
He wasn't muted.
All right, so let the minutes reflect, George George Clemens is present, and I'm, the mayor's present, presiding over the meeting, so we do have a quorum. We're having some technical difficulties. Jeff Gross is online, and I need him to unmute. Can you do that, Jeff? Because I need to do a roll call. You had it a minute ago. There you go. Perfect. Don't touch anything. All right. Let's start with the approval of the minutes from December 4th. Those have been presented. Were there any corrections or additions to the minutes? I know that was quite a few,
It's quite a meeting.
a lot of action.
Jeff, I didn't see anything. Did
No,
you?
I am good. I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Jeff, roll call. Jeff Gross,
Aye. Yes, aye.
George Clemens,
Aye.
Joe Tallmer, yes. Thank you. All right, Dustin is here this morning. Welcome to our visitor. We have no unfinished business. Let's move into new business. Item number 1 is a MOU with the Kosciuszko County government for the COVID-19 testing facility. This is essentially a shared expense with the county to pay rent to the fairgrounds for the Bowen Center COVID testing site. The city will pay 1/3, the county will pay 2/3, all from CARES Act dollars. We did need to get this assigned, and you'll see the usage agreement that follows is entered between the Kosciuszko County Community Fair and the Kosciuszko County government and the city of Warsaw for the lease of the Shrine Building at the cost of $4,000 per month. The county paying 2/3 and the city paying 1/3. So all the details are on here, and this runs through, I believe, this runs through the end of February. With there would be an option to extend, but this agreement will just run from November 18th through February 28th. Questions?
No, and it sounds like it's a win-win because the fairgrounds can probably use the income right now. So this is good. So I'll move to approve the agreement. Member Ann.
Second.
Second by Jeff Gross. Any further discussion? Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
Joe Tallmer? Yes. All right, thank you. And then Lynn, they'll need to go over to the county for commissioners meeting.
Let him know it's ready.
Item number 2 is the agreement with Taft Law Firm to assist us with the build, operate, transfer agreement for the city. Future consideration. This is just a term sheet, legal guidance, not to exceed $35,000 for this developing this BOT agreement. Questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? The only discussion I will add is that this build, operate, transfer delivery system is a procurement and delivery process for public projects. It's one of many options cities and towns have. They can do the traditional design, bid, build. They can do the design, build. They can do construction manager, and build, operate, transfer is another procurement method. But the statute requires very specific resolutions be passed and requests for qualifications, and the whole process is a relatively new process to the city. So hence my need to engage an attorney that has done a lot of these in the state to give us confidence that we can move forward with this process and follow statute Indiana Code 523. So we've had discussions with TAF and feel confident in their ability to do that for us. All right, Jeff Gross.
Yes.
George Clemens.
Yes.
Joe Tallmer, yes. All right. The next item is the WCDC Facade Grant Program. This is the contract with the WCDC for 2021 in the amount of $25,000. This is the matching grant program that allows our merchants to cost share up to $5,000 for improvements in facades, primarily for downtown buildings, and this amount has been approved and allocated by the council. It is the same as it was last year. This would allow 5 businesses to each utilize the maximum amount available for this grant. And Lynn, have we hit our this year's usage?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is this
But
is
it's over for, I mean, there's no,
right.
we're not
I'm
taking more.
just the 25,000 has not changed, and it doesn't ensure that all those funds are going to go.
Correct.
So that process is funded by the city, appropriated by the council, and administered by the WCDC. Questions? I know you're all familiar with it.
I move to accept.
Motion by Jeff Gross. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
George? All right, further discussion? All right, Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
Joe Tolmer, yes. All right, thank you. Item number 4, this is an amendment to the Anchorage Road NDOT contract for engineering and planning. Jeremy?
Is he muted?
Oh, yeah. May I look through amending to include their 80%, so they will be paying 80% of the engineering contract they approved at last for the work. So it's basically just amending the NDOT contract with them to include that 80% of the $70,050 increase to the preliminary engineering contract.
All right. And this in the past was typically part of the original contract, but NDOT has changed their methods and requires this step. Is that correct, Jeremy?
Yeah, in the past, they approved the contracts that would have a set engineering amount, a set right-of-way amount, and a set construction inspection. Now they improved their NDOT contract that it only has the construction amount and the construction engineering. And then you submit to them each of the other 2 sections, the preliminary engineering and the right-of-way. We did submit with the original, with the engineering, but we excluded the right-of-way engineering because of that discrepancy and not knowing the number of parcels we are going to have. So now that we do know how many parcels we're going to have, we're resubmitting that addition to that preliminary engineering contract, which saved us about $8,000 and saved them about $32,000 from what the original contract price would have been.
That's right. I remember that now. So the amount now, instead of the 400 some thousand, it's $363,240, correct?
Yes, that's NDOT's portion. That's what they'll pay out. That's their 80%.
Got it. All right, questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
All right, motion made by George Clemens. Is there a second?
Second.
Jeff Gross. All right, any further discussion or questions of Jeremy? All right, all in favor, or Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
Joe Tolmer? Yes. All right, next item, Jeremy, you're still on. This is a Buffalo Street Pay App number 8.
Yeah, this is just pay application number 8 for the Buffalo Street project. James has reviewed it in the amount of $133,433.55. We are still paying money out of the regional city's account at this point. The project continues to go on. We're looking for probably an April finish date. Actually, May, I think it was May 14th. For the contract extension from the last change order. So hopefully we'll get some of those products in that they need to finish the project and continue to move forward next year.
All right, It's really taken shape. Looks great down there, and thanks for all your work on that. And I appreciate your comments also that a majority of these funds are coming from the Regional Cities Award from several years ago. So, questions?
I move to approve.
I will second that.
All right. Any further questions of Jeremy or discussion? All right, roll call vote. Jeff Gross,
Yes.
George Clemens,
Yes,
Joe Tolmer, yes. All right, item number 6 is a stormwater budget guideline. Brian?
Yeah, this is our guidelines for 2021. Just looking at the summary page, you know, much of the increase in revenue that we're gonna see for next year has gone into improvements other than buildings, which are our projects that we're doing around the city. So I don't know if there's any specific questions on anything in this budget, or the unappropriated amount, that's the amount we're just kind of putting back into our reserves, trying to build better reserves in the stormwater budget fund.
Brian, would you tell me where you are on the improvements that you said the majority of those funds were added to? What line is that? Improvements
This is on the summary page I'm working on. It's capital expenses and it's improvement other than buildings.
Yes, I just found it.
We increased that budget by $180,000 over last year's budget, so we're putting more towards projects for next year.
Got it.
189.
And then plus the money in the CCD fund for projects.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the stormwater utility budget guideline?
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion or questions? All right. Roll call vote. Jeff Gross,
Yes.
George Clemens,
Yes,
Joe Tolmer, yes. And item number 7 is a similar request to approve the guidelines for the 2021 wastewater treatment utility budget.
Correct. Relatively flat budget, you know, we kind of look at this year's revenue and try to project next year, and it was a little more challenging because we definitely saw a decrease through the, you know, March, April area where everything was shut down. So this is probably a pretty conservative guideline, but just in case things don't come back, or, so we kept it pretty flat. And the Depreciation Fund, which is a 608, the projects, we had some money left over at the end of this year in our budget for a project we'd hoped to get on the street and bid. So I just reappropriated that money for next year. So that's why you see that $200,000 increase on the projects. And then in the bond and coupon area, the 606-452.070, that bond has been paid off, if you will. And then the bonds at the bottom are the latest SRF loans. So we're starting to have to pay more on those. So that's why you see those increases there.
Okay. What was that bond, the 452070 that's been retired?
2000,
Is that the 2002?
it was to 2008.
Yes.
Or is that the
I think it was the.
I don't remember which one that was.
I think
Okay.
it was the 2008 or maybe the 2011.
It was the 8. You're right. Lynn.
2008.
The 11 is what we're trying to refinance, or thinking of refinancing.
Right. Okay. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. And I know twice a year, we're given guidelines from Baker Tilly on the wastewater utility and stormwater utilities, just doing an analysis of their budgets. And their
And I did,
year-to-date spending.
I did have them review this budget along with Lynn's office prior to submitting it to you.
All right. Questions? Jeff?
No questions, you need another motion, I'm assuming, so I move to approve.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further questions of Brian? Roll call vote. Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
Joe Tolmer? Yes. All right. Brian, you got one more here. This is a change order for construction at the, for the plant expansion.
Yes, and we anticipate this is probably the last change order. We try to include everything here. A lot of it is for things that have come up during construction. The first item is the UV grading and building. Well, when we set the building, the grading was in conflict with the door opening, so we had to modify how we were going to do the grading. The $35,000 for the conveyor tensioner, we're reusing our conveyor and tensioner, but it is 20 years old. It's used every day, so we kind of wanted it gone through and rebuilt. One of the other big ones is at the very bottom was for resurfacing. So at the end of the project, you know, we have part of our asphalt has been tore up, and so we want to sort of mill and resurface the entire facility while they're here doing the asphalt work, so it's all one continuous layer of asphalt. I don't know if there's any other questions on anything on there, or it still falls well within our limits for the SRF loan.
You just answered my question.
Brian, I have a question. Were you supposed to get a better copy to be signed?
Yes, I'm working. I was trying to get a copy before today, because they have actually signed and where we're supposed to sign.
Yes,
Is that what you're referring to?
yes.
But I have not received that updated copy.
Okay, so just so Joe knows that he might have to re-sign it or whatever.
All right.
That's a good question.
All right, questions?
No, I'll move to approve the change order for the plant expansion and pending the correct signatures spot.
Second.
All right, any further discussion or questions? So Brian, does this put us at the end of the project or close to?
Yes, there is also an extension for days in here through some of the delays and then some of the extra work that they've had to do. And so it extended it 60 days for substantial, which I believe puts us early to mid-February. And then the final has been pushed back also so that they have time where they can do all the seeding and asphalt work once the winter is over.
Got it. But the plan itself is substantially complete. It's just a lot of the ancillary and supportive
Well,
type of,
it's not technically substantially complete. Everything is up and running at this point, but they haven't released them per se to us as complete because of the work that needs finished up.
gotcha. All right, my understanding of substantial meant that it's working and things are moving through, but I understand there's a different legal definition of substantial completion, so I'll accept that. Thank you. All right, any other questions? All right, Jeff Gross,
Yes.
George Clemens,
Yes,
Joe Tolmer, yes. All right, Brian, thank you for all your hard work. We're kind of getting close to the finish line on this project, so thank you.
Thank you. We are definitely ready.
No special claims, Lynn?
Yes, I handed it out to you, but you left it in the dust. It's for for the payment to the fair board.
For the,
for the-
yeah, I saw
Oh, this
that.
is for the rent? Okay, great.
Just out of curiosity.
Jeff, did you get a copy of this, or the special?
No, I did not, so I'll have to abstain.
Well, the special claim is just handed to us. It's the Kosciuszko County Fairgrounds COVID testing rental. It's coming out of CARES Act money. It's $1,333.33.
It's one.
Thank you.
So that's all we got, and that was just the item that we just approved here at the beginning of the meeting. The MOU with the county, this is our portion.
Just a quick question. I haven't been over there. What exactly are they renting? The property, or are they inside one of those buildings too?
They're renting one of the rooms inside of the building.
Okay, that's what I thought. Looks
Yeah.
like there's activity.
It's at it's at the Shrine Building.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And that's allowing the testing employees to keep warm. We're really concerned about through the winter with drive-through testing, so it's really worked well for them.
Good, and there's plenty of parking over there.
Yes.
That's a good situation. I'll move to approve the special claim payment.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And one final approval needed for the claims docket that was presented, the final one of the year. Lynn, any comments?
Nope, there's a couple pages.
Yeah, I
Claims
saw.
here. Everybody trying to get all their money spent before the end of the year.
Jeff, I didn't see anything that I still have questions on. How about you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well then, hearing that, I'll move we approve the claims docket.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Jeff Gross?
Yes.
George Clemens?
Yes.
Joe Tolmer? Yes. All right. And thank you, Lynn, for all your preparation, end of the year. I know it's a hectic time in your office, and this big claims docket speaks to that for sure. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other items to be carried forward? All right. Well, this is the Board of Works signing off for 2020, which is a good thing. And we'll see you all back in 2021. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. One of these days we'll get this all taken care of. So thank you.
Everyone have-
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for your patience.